Lankan's newspaper was able to have a discussion with the Sri Lankan Foreign Minister Mr. Ali Sabry regarding the opening of a Sri Lankan High Commission in New Zealand. Sri Lankan's newspaper would like to thank the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs Mr. Ali Sabry for attending this discussion amidst his busy schedule. We would also like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Sisira Wickramaratchi for finding the time to conduct this discussion on a very short notice during his short stay in Sri Lanka.
To introduce ourselves, that we are from the Sri Lankan's newspaper that we are having in New Zealand, where we all are, most of the Sri Lankans who are there are members of that, and we are trying to, we must thank the Honourable Prime Minister to get an approval to open up a new sort of a High Commissioner office in New Zealand, which we have been waiting for a long time, sir. So that we thank you and the government in Sri Lanka for doing it, which has a long stay that we couldn't get an opportunity to do it. So, sir, what I wanted to know, sir, is that what made you to make a decision in taking to open up a High Commissioner's office in New Zealand?
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I think the most important thing is the Sri Lankan community there. So we have a large Sri Lankan community now, ever increasing. It's our duty to look after them. And then, of course, strong bilateral relationship with New Zealand. New Zealand has also honoured us by having their High Commission here.
Yes.
So, and then, of course, growing trade between the two countries. And we also look forward for New Zealand tourists to come to the country. So it's various reasons, and we thought the presence in New Zealand is a must.
Then, sir, how do we intend to enhance the bilateral relations between the two countries?
I think during the last year or two, since the opening of the New Zealand High Commission here in Colombo, the former High Commissioner, Mr. Appleton, had done a great job, and the current High Commissioner is also very keen to improve the relationship, and we will have high-level visits from both to Sri Lanka and to New Zealand. So based on that, we will try to cooperate with each other in multilateral forums and work together, because there is so much common between our two countries. We have democracies.
So there is a very good demand for Sri Lankan agriculture-related products in New Zealand, sir. So what are the steps that the Sri Lankan government has taken to promote them in New Zealand?
I think that's a very important question. I think we should get all our chambers working with the Export Development Board to promote our product. That's one of the reasons what we are trying to do, and also the Department of Commerce. So we are working towards it. I will take this matter with the relevant people who are promoting Sri Lankan product and export development.
Then there is a good demand for some trade jobs, which I have seen when I am there. They need more than engineers, they need trade people. Especially in Sri Lanka, the people who have been trained in German training school,
Yes.
They get jobs as if that they like the tradesmen than sort of senior engineering people, because they always like to get the things done in a more sort of a way to satisfy the people. So what are the initiatives that we can taken by our government to get more opportunities to Sri Lanka?
I think that's a very good suggestion. So we will, Foreign Employment Bureau and the Ministry of Foreign Employment have to work in close collaboration with Sri Lankan High Commission, which is going to be established, as well as the New Zealand High Commission in Colombo, in identify these areas and looking at the requirement to apply for that job, such as probably language proficiency, the certification, training, and things like that. So, like what we are doing with the Japanese and the Korean jobs, we will continue to do this.
So, we expect that, actually, as the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs, that to give us the fullest cooperation, and we are expecting from that end, as well as I do like more, because I am now here. We can see how people are going to a country like New Zealand and do good jobs and do something for their country also.
Good.
The other thing is special work visa. For an example, the Philippines, Indonesian and Vietnam, so that sort of thing. Now from New Zealand, we don't get this type of visa. Either you have to go on a work visa or to get the normal permanent residency and go and work. But in other countries now they give things like this. So why not visa to look into this matter and make it more easier for our Sri Lankan to get the visa?
Yeah, I will take this up with my colleague, Mr. Honorable Manuchana Naikara, who is the Foreign Employment Minister in charge of Foreign Bureau. So yes, that's a good point. I'll ask them the possibility of getting this similar kind of status for our countrymen.
Of course, sir. Thank you, sir, on that. So then move on how does the Sri Lankan plan to encourage the Sri Lankan diaspora in New Zealand through the High Commission?
Yeah, I think first of all I would request you, we are open in this because of you, the Sri Lankans who live in New Zealand. So please support the High Commission in all its endeavours and create a Sri Lankan expatriate society or something of that sort and work closely with the High Commission so that we can really get the maximum benefit for the country. Going forward, High Commission and few members of the High Commission staff alone cannot promote our country. We have to do it together as a team. So I would request Sri Lankans who live in New Zealand. I know you have a very good reputation. I was recently in Australia. Sri Lankans in that part of the world have kept the Sri Lankan flag flying very high with a lot of dignity and the manner in which you have conducted yourself. Continue to do so, create opportunities, helpful to each other, work with the embassy to create the High Commission to create opportunities for Sri Lanka, not only in job market, but in tourism, in trade, in bilateral area, so that our partnership becomes stronger.
And personally, I just thought of asking some personal questions from you. How do you see the difference between your previous career as a legal practitioner and now as a politician?
Interesting question is, my mantra is whatever I do at that point in time, I give 110% of it. So whether it's a public job or a private job, I will give full 100% to it. I'm glad that during a very difficult time when the Sri Lanka was in need of leadership and contribution, I managed to give some contribution. I hope that I have kind of paid a little bit of a debt which I owe to my country. But personally, I like my profession as a lawyer and I miss it all the time.
But sir, I'm thanking you as a professional, sir, to get involved with politics also. I work as a politician and do the best for our country, sir.
Thank you.
So then, sir, I a few questions, personal questions, that what motivates you to continue serving in a political capacity, given your legal background and prior professional accomplishments?
No, what motivates me is that that little bit of input what we are doing make a big difference in the community level. So it's not a private thing you have been doing for you and your clients, but here you are doing it for your country. So it's at least to the extent what you can afford, you should be able to do that. So I was happy that as a Justice Minister, I've managed to reform so many laws. As the Finance Minister, I was there when no one else didn't want to take it. Then I laid the foundation for most of the reforms at that point in time. And now, as a Foreign Minister, it's a difficult job to prevent Sri Lanka's image being protected from a bankruptcy and also with the big power rivalry coming to our doorstep. So all in all, I'm happy that I managed to contribute towards Sri Lanka's future. And I think everyone need to do it, either some people for a longer period of time, some people for even a short period of time. I think I have done it and I always wanted to be at one term, and then I have done it, I think, to the best of my ability.
We do appreciate all that what you have done for our country, we know, because we are at the end, we can see your way of approach towards especially in politics as well as in the professional field.
Thank you.
So then, sir, lastly, what message you could give, would you like to convey to the Sri Lankan community in New Zealand and the broader New Zealand public?
First of all, I would like to tell the Sri Lankans who live in New Zealand, we are very proud of you, the way you have conducted yourself. Every time I meet the New Zealand ministers and the leaders, also in Australia, they talk very high of the Sri Lanka. So that's because of the way you have conducted yourself. So continue to do that great job. And then, as you say, see how you can help your country. First of all, by promoting Sri Lanka, maybe people-to-people connection, tourism promotion, helping our upcoming mission to successfully coordinate those matters. A lot you could do. And to the New Zealand general public, what I would like to say is, Sri Lanka is a beautiful country. Sri Lanka has similar values, such as democracy, rule of law, independent judiciary, separation of power. There are a lot we share in common. So, and please visit Sri Lanka, engage with Sri Lanka, and we look forward for a great partnership of bilateral relationship and friendly relationship between our two countries.
Yes, sir. For your information, sir, I'll tell you, our Prime Minister who was there when you were the Foreign Minister, and even after that, we are highly interested in putting up that, there's a dental institute which started at the time of 1955 with the Colombo Plan, which was sort of helped by the New Zealand government. But now we have taken steps to get the New Zealand. The former High Commissioner has taken steps and he has gone there and is giving the fullest support in getting some improvement done for the dental institute which is in Maharashtra.
Thank you.
So
we look forward to see that.
Yes, sir, we should, sir. That's something we should do, sir. And we do always appreciate you for helping us in this. And many thanks for you for being with us for this small day and listening to us.
Thank you. Thank you.